Noises. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today we are starting something somewhat new. Now, recently on our morning streams, we just finished Expedition 33, needed something new to start, and also recently in our evening streams, we did the multiplayer 4 versus 4 Age of Wonders game with Fairlight and 7 other content creators. Well, I think 6 other content creators and then 1 guy. I had a lot of fun on that, and it definitely kind of... Yeah, it's like the bug bit me again, and I really wanted to do more. Now, in the past, and all of the playthroughs I'm about to mention are on Mukluk Plays if you wish to watch them. We have done a playthrough of the base game campaign of Age of Wonders. Let me go to new game here for a second. So these are, they're called Premium Challenge Realms. It's basically like an early campaign. We've done those. We did like the base game one. I'm gonna tab out just for the sound. We've done the base game one. There was one that we did when Ashes of War came out, where the Reavers were added to the game. There was one that we played, the one that says DD right here at the bottom left. That's Dragon's Dawn, not just double D, to behave. And we played a dragon in that one. And we have not played the PF is Primal Fury, the WW is Ways of War, and the GK is Giant Kings. We are going to try the Giant Kings campaign. So, without further ado, we're going to play Path of the Giants. Will you do a review video for Expedition 33? Yes. It's going to be positive. I'm going to nitpick about a couple of things, but overall, yes, it was a great game. So, for those of you who only have seen Age of Wonders 4, based on when we did the multiplayer thing, this is going to be much faster, because when I finish taking my turn, the AI is going to take theirs instantly, and then it's my turn again. Repeat. So it's going to be much faster, and also the story. We will be able to get more out of the story. No Dragon Daddy. We might run into him. Okay, so Giant King map. A realm once ruled by the Giant Kings of Merida. Its ancient underground halls waiting to be rediscovered. Merida, many myths surround the fabled kingdom of Merida, where giant kings once ruled the small races across the worlds within. Undeniable is the wealth and grandeur still exhibited within its ruined monumental structures and cities. Yet there is much debate among Godir about the fall of Merida. Some say the giant kings became corrupted by their power, giving rise to the traitor kings. Others blame Archon's suppression for the destruction of a lost utopia. Certain is that the Archons and their allied elder dragons besieged Merida, ending the long age of giants and distantly presaging the Endalon crisis. While the various giant clans seek to carry on the legacy of their ancient forefathers, their deeds pale beside the marveled legends of Merida. And, you know, we can just keep going and going and going deeper. There's so many tooltips here. But for now, we're going to hit Path of the Giants. And going to hit Edit Game. And we're going to check a couple things. So, first of all, this map has several large contested continent land masses. Okay. Lingering creators, giants and demi-giants are prevalent on this realm. Giant and ogre units are common. Okay. Crystal Dwelling. There's a crystal dwelling present on this map, engaged in its eternal search for knowledge. Crystal Dwelling is a type of dwelling inhabited by the remnants of giant kings in litherine forms. Only one crystal dwelling exists in a realm. The only way to improve allegiance with the dwelling is through quest. Having a pact with the crystal dwelling will unlock several trading options with them, such as the tome, content, artifacts, litherine units, and revealing points of interest on the map. Once captured, it will immediately be destroyed and award some of the dwelling's trade items to the conqueror. Okay? Legends of Merida normal realm trait. The realm was once part of the fabled giant kingdom called Merida. There are fated regions present on this map which offer quest chains exploring and present the past of Merida. Gain artifacts when completing fated regions, which grant unique bonuses and can be collected to start impactful follow-up happenings. Fated regions are affected by Ward of Fates. What is that? The region is protected by a spell, according to myth woven by fate itself, which renders this sector uninhabitable and blocks world map spells. Only when the fateful conflict overseen by the spell has been resolved will the ward disperse. So it's kind of like a Spelljammer, but it's a little different too. Only some of the fated regions available will be present, leaving more to be explored on another realm. Okay. Low population. This realm features less civilization than others. Free cities are rare. Okay, so there was a trait that I took in our multiplayer game that I could make more alliances with free cities, and then it kind of ended up being stupid because the other players killed all the free cities. So this would be another game where it would be not good to take that trait. This is why we're reading this. Subdued infestations. The wildlife on this realm is more dormant than usual. The realm starts with a reduced amount of infestations. Okay, so relative map size. We're gonna do a big map. Difficulty. I have tried playing brutal difficulty on my own time. It is actually insane. It basically is just like, okay, well, a human player is better than the computer, so we're just gonna let the computer cheat. So like when I had 2 armies, the computer hit me with 8. So I'm gonna try turning it up to hard, which I have not done a hard campaign from like all the way to the end before, and we're gonna see how it goes. And let's go to advanced settings. Where's the... Hang on a sec. I'm looking for the win conditions. I'm looking for the win conditions. All right. So magic victory, research tells build affinity, and shall give it. So I've got magic victory turned off. Disable score limit. Yeah, score limit I also hate. Score limit is basically on turn 100, whoever has the highest score just wins. It's very abrupt. It feels weird. Expansion, owning a set amount of provinces through your city or vassals, building special beacons and defending them for a certain number of turns. Let's see. Hero resurgence. Select what happens when a hero dies during a battle while their side is still victorious. Auto combat. Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, say that. Okay, so we got some people here. Let's see. So we're going to create a faction.
What is your people's
and
form?
This is just cosmetic because you can change their passives. So, you know, there's human, elf, simian, ogrekin, goats, lupine, avian, lizard folk, orc, dwarf, halfling, goblins, feline, rats, toads, and moles. And I believe last time we had bird people and called them Tengu. Let's see. What was included? I don't think Giant Kings added any new races. So Ogrekin and Simian were both added with the Ways of War one. It said that giants and ogres were common on this map. How about just in the spirit of it, we'll play the ogres. Okay, and then we pick some orc. Well, we just played orc during the multiplayer. All right, so we pick some passives here. Now, I've got a few favorites. One is fast recuperation. Your units heal faster per turn outside of combat. And another is to either take mounts or to take athletics, which let your units move at basically near mount speed every turn. And then you get to do a lot more during your turns because you can get around faster. So I'm going to take those two because I'm just fond of them.
What is their origin?
Then we have the biggest choice so far, which is your culture. Now, I went back and checked the VODs because I couldn't remember, or not the VODs, but the playlists on Mukluk Plays. We have done a playthrough with the Reavers, which are these guys, the Industrious, which are really good at building and they're very tanky, and Dark, which it's like a dictatorship. They are very cruel, but the bonus is they don't care if their people are happy. The people don't get to vote anyway. So we've done those. We have not done playthroughs on stream with any of the others. So I'm going to avoid these three because I've done playthroughs with them on stream. When we do Ways of War later on, I want to play Oathsworn for that one because that was added with Ways of War. When we do Primal Fury, I will play Primal for that one. So I want to do something else. That means for this one, I'd like to do either Mystic, Barbarian, High, or Feudal. Fluke says Giant Kings had a rework on Feudal. You could choose 2 subcultures now. Wait, what? Well, yeah, I see the 2 of them, yeah. Yeah, so Feudal, a hierarchical society where nobles reign over their subjects. They feel exceptionally cheap to maintain armies and specialize in the use of cavalry. High is a highly developed society where members strive for harmony. When threatened, however, they wield their guiding light as a weapon. Have you played New Feudal? No, I haven't. Barbarian where is it? People who thrive on war and aggression. They value strength and prefer to charge head-on into bloody battles. And Mystic has 3 options here. Mystic, a culture of scholars driven to study every corner of the astral sea. They prefer to find answers through research and arcane prowess. And those are the options. Okay. Let's see. Hang on a second, chat. I have got some cough drops here. I woke up with a sore throat, so I'm about to pop one into my mouth and hope that this helps. Okay. A couple of people are all saying try the new feudal. I'd be happy to try that. What are our options for feudal? All right, monarchy. Your people are loyal to the absolute rule of their monarch, gaining power from the presence of their ruler. The ruler will gain monarch's dominion. This unit is the absolute monarch of their faction. In combat, it activates for the monarch on friendly units. While army leader, all units in the army with for the monarch will have minus 100% unit upkeep. Oh, wow. So your main army's free. All right. Also, these units get plus defense, resistance, 10% damage, and 10 morale. Okay, so you got 1 free army, basically. Units gain for the monarch, yeah. Certain units can promote into higher tier units on attaining legendary rank. Okay, so similar to those of you who saw the 4v4, I was using Tome of Evolution, where I had like animals in my army, and they would grow up into much larger versions, so this is similar to that. All right. The other option is aristocracy. Your cities form powerful houses, able to field efficient armies when led by their liege lords. Each city has a feudal house led by its governor, who becomes the house's liege lord. All right, hold on. Oh my god. Hang on. Liege lord. This hero is the liege lord of their house, granting them and house units in their army minus upkeep, heal faster per turn. In battle, they and all units of their house gain more hit points and more morale. This bonus increases as the hero gains renown. Oh, I think I remember hearing Fairlight and Bomb just talk about this. So, yeah, plus hit points, plus morale per rank of renown. So if you're at max renown, your units get like 40 extra health, which is insane when some of them have like less than 100 hit points. All right. Units produced in feudal cities will become part of that city's feudal house, gaining XP as their liege lord gains renown. Certain units can promote into higher tier units. Okay, so interesting. So I wonder then, rather than have like one city that can make your tier 3 units, you're going to want every city able to make all the units if each army needs to have the units from its own city. Is Muck's camera kind of low FPS? I think it's okay. I think it's alright. Alright. Alright, so I've never tried either of these since they did a rework. I will say, I'm more fond of nature affinity than I am of literally any other affinity. So for that reason, I will try out aristocracy. Okay, so feudal with aristocracy. This is my first time playing feudal since they did the change. So, here we go. Start.
What defines their society?
Okay, we got to pick 2 things here. I've got a few of the extra stuff unlocked because I've played before. These ones with this little symbol right here mean that I unlocked it through gameplay. Let's see. I don't think I should do an underground city. Experienced Seafarers goes really, really well with a Storm Giant. And we're going to play a Giant, so I will do this. So, for those who don't know, the Giants can put down this thing called a Stella, and the Stella will spread whatever type of terrain that Giant likes. Storm Giants spread rivers, and so every tile will have a little river going through it. And this is, you get more gold, food, and draft income for every province that has water in it. So we are going to take this with the Storm Giant just for more forms of income. So Experienced Seafarers. And then we gotta pick one more. I am quite fond of Chosen Uniters. However, that basically means more vassals, and it's said that this map is not gonna have many free cities. Don't pick Chosen Destroyers. What was that one? Raising a city is permanent. Oh, yeah. There's not gonna be many free cities. Yeah. Alright. Prolific Swarmers just means your people multiply faster. Giggity. So their cities grow faster. This is an okay option for literally anybody. Let's see. Ruthless Cannibals. Units gain the corpse-eating ability. Whenever you destroy a non-magic unit, nearest city gets mana and food. Let's see. Hermit Kingdom. If no one is touching your borders, you get plus bonuses to all forms of income. That's not bad. Well, most forms of income, I should say. Not all. I've heard that Devious Watchers, this was my favorite trait that I took in the multiplayer game. It was the Invisible Scouts, many of you will remember. And I was able to do a lot of chaos because they couldn't see my scouts. I've heard that this doesn't really work versus the AI. So I'm going to not take that, even though I'm quite fond of it, because I don't know if that's true or not. Vigilante Knight, maybe? Do I have that? I don't know if I have that one. I don't see it. I might not have that one. Yet. Let's see. Talented Collectors. A little bit more income. So another thing is every option you start with something. Experienced Seafarers, you start with Seafaring. I want to pick an option that starts me with another unit. Because the early game is going to be the roughest part. So, Fabled Hunters, not bad. Units regen faster. More resources from clearing nodes. There's a lot of decent options. Terraformers. Looking back at that Prolific Swarmers, where your city just grows basically 10% faster, and you start with an extra tier 1 unit. I mean, that honestly ain't bad. Like, there might be something better, but there's no way that's a bad option. Cannibalism, and you've got full Ogre Kingdoms from Warhammer. Minus alignment. So, units gain the corpse-eating ability. They can eat a nearby corpse in combat to heal for 15 health. The nearest city owned gains 3 mana and 3 food per tier of non-magic origin units killed or lost after successful combat. A feudal corpse-eating society. You know what? Just for the theme? Sure. Alright. Seafaring Cannibals.
Choose your first tome of
Alright.
magic.
So we have got, hold on, what affinities do we have right now? 1 second. We have 1 nature, 1 order. Let me go back here. 1 chaos and another nature. Okay.
Your first tome of magic.
Let's see. This society that we're making right now is not gonna have an abundance of mana. I need to not pick a, oh, it's at the top left, thank you. I need to not pick a style of play that uses a crap ton of mana. Like, for example, in the multiplayer game y'all recently saw, I was going crazy with mana. Can't do that in this one. I'm trying to think of what tomes were added in Giant Kings. I know there was the dungeon tome for, like, underground. I don't know what else was added. Sad mage noises? Yeah, we'll have to do that on another playthrough. Warding is solid. If I want to have 4...
For the great more.
I want to have 4 nature affinity, because there is a lot of early game stuff that is that I really like to get that requires 4. And the 2 books that will put me at 4 is Tome of Beasts or Tome of Roots. Tome of Roots has some decent unit enchants and a heal. Let's see, I'll start with this, I think. And also, it does have a mana building. All right, we'll start with Tome of Roots and go from
What
there.
is your ruler's origin?
Okay, so then you pick what's your ruler. A champion, which is like a mortal that's just really good. A wizard king, which is like an immortal, almost deity that came down to their planet. Dragon Lord, which we played last time when we did the Dragon DLC, or Giant King. In the spirit of the Giant thing. Plus, after having tried all 4 of these, I gotta tell you, I think Giant King's my favorite, then Champion, then Dragon Lord, then Wizard King. I think that's my order of favorite right now. All right, so then you pick what type of giant you are. Because we picked Seafarers, I'm gonna pick Storm Giant, which synergizes really well with that.
Reveal yourself.
All right, so here's us. Now, outside of the Fairlight stream, I have tried literally every single starting version of Giant. And after trying all of them for like 10 to 20 turns, my favorite is still Ritualist. There is a lot of cool stuff I can do with that one that I just can't do with the others. You guys remember when I fought Bomb just to a standstill for like 2 hours before losing, and then he just completely steamrolled Fairlight and my other 2 allies? And Fairlight's Giant was full melee and just kept getting rooted? Alright, so, let's go up here. For those who don't know, you can design your Giant how you want cosmetically, and then you pick their class. Defender, Mage, Ritualist, Warrior, Death Knight, or Spellblade. We're gonna start with a Writ, which has this big obelisk, and then you pick this is kind of cosmetic. Do you want a bone obelisk or a normal obelisk? Let's see, I think a normal obelisk does half lightning, half physical damage, and a bone obelisk does pure physical, so we'll take a normal obelisk. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and select,
Your journey
name,
begins.
let's see, Mukluk, title, let's see, Giant Daddy Mukluk. This is just to make it funny so that when the other rulers address me, they have to call me Giant Daddy. All right. Ruler Ambition. Ruler Ambition is basically what gives you ruling experience. My favorite thing here is Instructor, and you level up simply by your troops leveling up. It's very easy to do. So I am going to keep Instructor, and we are going to go from there. Do you want a different color scheme?
Reveal yourself.
I'm not too partial here. There you go. I guess. Blue and black.
Journey begins.
All right. Hey, Jersey. All right, so it's loading our map. Can giants even wear the wizard hats? I don't think it allows them to, no. Good morning, Muck Chat. I feel like I'm betraying my fandom by coming more to your morning stream than the evening one. They're both there, so you can use whichever option you like, Laura. All right, now, like I said, the early game is going to be the roughest part, but we don't have to use auto battle this time. Okay. Mukluk Rainsinger. A new ruler emerges. Explore your surroundings and expand your domain. Prepare to face your rivals and become the master of this realm. Your choices will shape the new Age of Wonders. Alright, you start with Call Militia. This is a feudal thing. Summon 2 militia in the target-owned city. It's just 2 tier 1 units? You just get those like right away? 65 hit point polearm unit. Huh. Yeah, I could literally use that and have that ready on turn 2. And it costs gold, not mana. Interesting. I don't know that I've seen a spell like that. Okay, so then we've got our starting army here. There's Mukluk. We've also got 2 defenders. Defense mode Shield Wall, standard tanky ability. Liege Guard. When this unit gains legendary rank, it will promote into a Liege Guard. Oh, I remember those. Bomb just beat me with those. He had like 40 of them. That's how you get those. Okay. Melee start. Alright. And we got an Archer. Alright. Corpse eating defense mode. Fast recuperation. Okay. It doesn't say anything about the archer evolving into a new unit. I don't know if that's later on. Okay, so we got 2 tanks, 1 ranged DPS, and a giant. And then over here, we have got a scout unit. Starts with far side as well. Okay, so we're gonna look at our castle here. And let's see. Getting food in the early game is the most important thing. So we got that as gives food and draft. And this gives production and draft. Alright, we'll start with House Hunting Grounds. And our army right now basically has 2 melee, 2 range. So let's build another melee. And we're out of money. Alright, we got a little army right here. It's 1 tier 2 unit and 2 tier 1 units. I'm gonna hit Control S in case this ends up being terrible. Yeah, we should be able to do this. Alright, so first off... Alright, so that's some knowledge. Oh, we need to start research. Bright Blades. Blight Blades. It adds poison damage to your units. Okay. So... Alright, so I'm gonna hit auto, and if I get anything less than a favorable result, we hit manual. Okay, the flying things are from the Tome of Evolution. I've seen these before, I know how they work. The big guy that looks like Gragas, a brewer ogre. Frigid Breath does frozen damage. Drink buffs himself. Okay. Alright, alright. Alright, so that's the scout unit. Alright, we're gonna summon this thing. Giants can do this. It's a temporary unit. If it dies, it doesn't hurt us. Oh, controls do that. I was trying to move this unit. Alright, and end turn. Wait for them to get closer. Alright. So, Giant's turn. Obelisk smash. Okay, archers. Scout. The scout also has a bow. Not as good as the archers. Still pretty solid, though. Alright, giant flying sword. And then send in the little tank guys. Alright, now we just got the ogre. See what he does. Alright, the sword is going to despawn next turn. Oh, I thought I was controlling the sword. Dang it. Alright. So send it forward. Okay. Little mishap there. Oh, the giant has the corpse eating ability too. I didn't realize he would get it also. Okay, shield wall. Now, whenever a tanky unit spends its turn going into defensive stance, it will give everyone around him bonus defensive stats. There we go. Okay, so much better than the auto resolve. So you get 12 food and 12 mana because of the cannibalize. We ate them. I forgot about that. We're gonna eat them. 68 gold, Robe of Resistance. All right, so we don't have any equipment on our guy so for now we'll use the Robe of Resistance. Might replace that later on. Okay, now there are no more units to hunt nearby. Maybe I made the map too big. All right, so we need to find something to hit. All right, there's those little pings means that there's something there. So move that way. And... Alright, enter. And there we go. It's my turn again. Alright. Let's see. Nothing else really do here. Let's do Call Militia. I wonder if militia, like, just filling the army with militia would be better than making defenders. I don't know.